Good afternoon, Nigeria. Good afternoon, Africa. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a new week and another episode of trending stories in Nigeria and across Africa. I am Mr. Barry, your host. And here with me, I have two of my guests. I have with me,
Tochiko Fidelis Okola, and I am General Luminary.
welcome to Touchlight News.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. All right, this week trending story happens to be one of the most touching story of I've ever come across. But before we go deep down to what we have at hand, I would like us to observe a minute of silence to the ones you've lost during the incidents we are about to talk about. Just a minute of silence. May the soul rest in peace.
Amen.
All right, let's move to the topic of the day, which talks about the viral video going on all social media platforms and most especially the tweet from the US president. Okay, in Donald Trump's tweet, and I read, Christianity is facing existential threats in Nigeria. Thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I am hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. And if you go further to listen to what he said in his tweet, he said, the United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. We stand ready, willing, and able to serve our great Christian population around the world. It's unlike a battle, but I will leave my guests to say their mind and what they think can cause these killings in Nigeria or within Africa and other countries. So I'd like Mr. Fidelis to tell us what he felt about these killings within Christianity and others.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barry, for the opportunity to be here. From what you just read out, the tweet from President Trump, I think he made that tweet on his own app, the Truth social media app, and everywhere around the world as Nigeria killings, genocide. I think it's a welcome development that people are talking about the killings in Nigeria. Yes, I thank President Trump and also the people that started that discussion in America, um, Senator Ted Cruz and Rep Moore and many other Americans who have been coming to the aid or hearing the cries of people, Christians in Nigeria. Having said that, the question that have been a source of argument between the American conclusion, which if you read further or follow his statement, it's a Christian genocide going on in Nigeria, is that Nigeria is denying the fact that there's any genocide of any form going on in Nigeria because no particular, according to the government of Nigeria, religion or ethnic group is being targeted, that the killings is universal. I think nobody's arguing the fact that many souls or many killings are going on in Nigeria. But if you ask me particularly whether there's a Christian genocide, I will answer you yes, practically. Why do I say that? I don't argue the fact that genocide, that killings are going on in all parts of Nigeria. There's basically no part of Nigeria that is devoid of these killings, and it's unfortunate. Life has become brutish. See in northeast where Boko Haram reigns supreme? Is it in northwest where we see the terrorists now guy named bandits even killing and becoming too comfortable that they are now interacting with even government officials. North Central in particular is where this Christian genocide is happening, not even painting mostly. We have seen constant issues of particular communities being wiped out. Is it in Yalaweta, Yeleweta, and all that pronunciation in Benue State, in Bokos, in Plateau? You will see hundreds of lives, women, children, all being killed overnight, communities all being wiped out. You wake up one day, you are in the community, and the next time you are seeing yourself, if you are alive, you are lucky to be alive in internally displaced place, IDP camps. Is disheartening. And if we are to be 100% truthful, these enclaves in Middle Belt Nigeria are 98% Christian, most of these places. And they are losing their lands, they are targeted and killed. There's no doubt. So if these places unarguably are part of Nigeria and there's a genocide against them, so no rational person anywhere in the world will say that there is no Christian genocide. There's a genocide going on in Middle Belt Nigeria. And as a subset of Nigeria, one can conclusively conclude that there is Christian genocide going on in Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your contribution. So Henry, what do you have to say?
Well, my own view is based on what Donald Trump tweeted about Nigeria. Because for Donald Trump to come out and bring out that tweet that today even our Nigerian government were all in tension because of the tweet of Donald Trump, it means that there was something that was happening in our country before this tweet came about. And I know that some of the political office holders that are working for this administration are still denying that there's nothing like a Christian genocide in the country, maybe because the thing hasn't affected their own family members or otherwise. But the truth is that there is a genocide going on in the country, and it didn't start today, for a very long time. That every one of us in the country know about, and the government didn't do anything about it until now that Donald Trump is now putting pressure. They are now trying to say, okay, what are we going to do to salvage the situation? Because they don't want the US government to start interfering in our matters. But truthfully, there is a genocide that has been going on for this country, and it didn't start today. It has started for a very long time. And if I remember vividly, this is the first administration that has a Muslim ticket. If I remember, since democratic period of Nigeria, we've never had any tickets that are from the same religious background. It's either you have the Christian and the Muslim, or it's the first one that we're having a Muslim ticket in our administrative seat. So if people say that a particular religion is being targeted because of what is happening in Nigeria, I think the whole world should look into it.
Okay. Sorry, a point of correction, my dear host. This is not the first Muslim ticket that's even popular. I could recall in 1992-93 election that Abiola Kingibe ticket was. Yes, they were democratic. They were democratic. In this Fourth Republic, this is the first successful ticket. Why I wanted to pinpoint it is there's a difference actually. We read the time. The Abiola Kingibe ticket had Nigerians supporting it devoid of religion.
Okay.
But when Buhari took over in 2015, someone could sense the tension. So the tickets of Tinubu Kashima Shetima ticket is somehow different. It's Muslim ticket, quite all right. In fact, the same Southwest Northeast ticket, but there's a difference. The tension in the land does not warrant that. For me, this ticket is celebratory that we can do it. We have the power. It's unrealistic and it may be part of it, but I don't think that's not this point. I just wanted to bring it.
Thank you for your contributions. But what is kind of why I'm confused and kind of being angry is because we have some prominent men of God in Nigeria. And in Africa, if you have to count one of the most known pastors, reverends, Jews, or whatever you call them, you count Nigerian men of God as number one. And none of them have come out to talk about this genocide going on. Not until last week, if I'm not mistaken, a pastor of which nobody knows his name, not until that date, after this killing has gone on, and he was burying some of the deceased, and he cried out on social media, calling out the Nigerian government. And this video has to get to Donald Trump before he tweeted. So I want to leave a question. Now, this genocide affects Christianity, and we have men of God like the Pastor Chris, we have the likes of Adeboye, and the rest of them, we know them all by their names. And before now, none of them have come out to speak about this, and I believe they are in a good position because some of their members have been affected. Is it right for our Christian fathers to be silent while their members are dying? Mr. Henry.
You made mention of some of our Christian
I mentioned but
pastors.
few, and we have them in the members.
Some of our Christian pastors, who are still silent up to this moment. Them being silent is what I don't know. Maybe this is not best known to them, but I know that there are some pastors that have spoken about the killings of Christian faithfuls all over the country. They have come out in social media, to say things about it. They have gone on media channels, to speak about these continuous killings of Christian faithfuls around the country. So I believe that this Donald Trump's tension is really going to bring out more people coming out to say what they have been seeing and what they have been hiding. So I believe so. And some of them will come out to say nothing.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fidelis.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think you are not totally correct, my host. You know why I said that? There have been people like I'm sure Bishop Oyedepo, without holding brief any of person, had always condemned killings going on in Nigeria. In fact, he had called for prayers. I think we have done that.
Okay.
But there's something you should understand. We have special situation here. There's a record killing of former Christian Association chairman in Adamawa State. He was murdered. When he was kidnapped, we were asking for ransom of up to 50 million naira. At the point of getting the ransom, he was killed. So maybe there's that palpable fear. But that's not the most important point in this supposed silence of Christian leaders. We are, yes, credit and kudos and clapping for him. So I don't know whether it's title, whether it's pastor or Bishop Doshima or whatever is his name. He has done excellently well in prayers, in speaking for his people. You could see the passion. But if you follow the timeline of events before even Trump getting to talk about it, in fact, before Senator Ted Cruz picked up the interest and continued, there have been moves. There's the Catholic Bishop of Makurdi. He's also a pastor, he's a Christian leader who had been in the United States, presented papers on these killings, giving facts and figures. The videos are everywhere. I think he was also in Europe, Anegbe or something. I think it's Bishop Anegbe. He has been speaking on this issue, talking, and I learned he lost 12 members of his family when his village was attacked. So people have been speaking and passionate about the situation. It is not just about them speaking. There's somehow fear of government. Then there are pastors that naturally believe that the killings are not targeted on Christians alone. I give it to them. It's their choice, their belief. But I believe and know in all conviction that the killings happening in Middle Belt, this Nigeria, is targeted on Christians, thus a genocide.
Okay, thank you so much. I have another question, and this question centers on the reply from Asari Dokubo to Donald Trump concerning what Donald Trump said about the genocide and the killings in Nigeria. Because in one of his tweets, he said, if this continues, that he will deploy some soldiers from the United States to come and fight for the Christians in Nigeria. And there was a tweet also on a video that goes viral from Asari Dokubo, who said that they are ready for the American armies to come around if Donald Trump sent any, that they are going to fight back. And how to leave this question? Is it a right answer to the United States president on fighting for the freedom of Christianity, not only Christianity? Because if this genocide continues, might lead to war between the Christianity, the Christendom, and the Islamists and other regions. So, was it a right response to the United States of America's president and also one of the world presidents towards the growth of Nigeria? Mr. Phillips?
I am laughing because I'm surprised my elbow was at you bringing a content creator to international discourse. This discussion is about foreign diplomacy. I wouldn't say that I would not want to talk about the Kumbo. I think the Kumbo, there are videos of him struggling to come downstairs. And if any person is conversant with what warfare has become in the present generation and time, you know that we are talking of high tech.
Yes.
Nobody is talking of people coming and his boys as Arab boys shooting against American soldiers. He may not even get to see when they will come. Trump said guns are pleasant, but it's mostly going to be an airdrop if America is going to do anything. That's the question. Whether I want them to come in, that's a different question. But answering you, I think Asari Dokubo is becoming emotional like most Nigerians. You know, Asari Dokubo is a Muslim. Many people are getting this to be a question of Muslim against Christians. It is not. I don't think Trump's tweet even says that. He says radical Islamists. There have been records of radical Islamists killing fellow Muslims. Even the Boko Haram members, they are radical Islamists. They are killing mostly Northeast Muslims. These are truths. But that does not, 1, 2, 3 truths can coexist. It is true that radical Islamists are killing Muslims, killing Christians, killing everybody. It is also true that what is happening in North Central Nigeria is targeting Christians. So, as an Dokuba as a Muslim, maybe you don't know he's a Muslim, it's becoming emotional. I think maybe you defend his faith. But as far as I'm concerned, it's one statement by a content creator. It has gone viral. It's a good, in case he has Facebook account, I think he should be thinking, smiling to his bank now. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Henry, what's your contribution towards that?
Just like my co-guest have said, Asari Dokubo is entitled to his own opinion. That doesn't mean that he's saying for the the benefit of all and sundry. He just said his own, but that is what he wanted to say. On the other side of Donald Trump's tweets, on if there is any chance of them not bringing their own military personnel to come and help us affect the issue. I don't think Nigeria that we are ready for that. Now, I believe with the tension on ground from this tweet, I think Nigerian government are trying as much as possible, to come into an agreement. At least if assistance is coming from the United States, let it be something that everybody will be cooperative of as a
All right, Mr. Henry, do you want the United States to move into what is going on in Nigeria now?
Well, personally, do I want the Americans, to come and help us salvage the situation? I will say yes, because this thing didn't start today, and our government has been keeping silent about it. So, if it's going to take, the Americans, to come and salvage the situation and stop these killings of innocent citizens, I think I'm going to accept that for as long as it doesn't affect Nigerian integrity and sovereignty, just like the federal government has, responded to American that yes, we are ready for cooperation for as long as whatever thing that people want to do in helping us is not going to affect our integrity and sovereignty.
Okay, Mr. Fidelis, do you have anything contrary to what he said, or you're in support of what Mr. Henry said?
I am in support of anything that stops the killings. And what Mr. Henry said is somehow contradictory. He said respect your integrity and they should come in. If they are coming in, except Nigerian government, right, which the Tinubu government, if you see Mr. President response, you know that we are not ready for that. We are asking for maybe arms assistance and what have you. I understand the government very well. And I would have wanted an America that will come in, maybe drop bombs or whatever on these terrorists and eradicate them and will for once enjoy peace, at least temporarily within the country. That will be perfect. That will be beautiful. But American antecedent says contrary. I would ask you if you rhetorically, have you seen any nation America enter that just left? They have been almost none. Their record shows contrary. Wherever they go, they may not bring in the foot soldiers, but at the end of that American intervention, I always see division within the country. So that's why I'm skeptical about their direct involvement. So I think the tweet by the President Trump have achieved massively. Just tweet. I give it to him. And the federal government, you start seeing news flying around about killing, rescuing kidnapped victims, killing terrorists, attacking their successful operations. That is beautiful. That's what we'll be asking for as Nigerians. If it will continue, good. And if they can interact with Trump and his people and get all forms of assistance that will aid more in stopping this savagery and carnage going on in the country, beautiful. I would love that. Personally, I would have very, very, very happy. America coming in form of direct assistance, I don't think it will end the way people are thinking. But maybe drop one or two bombs at the sites of the terrorists. Trust me, America have record of these terrorists.
Okay.
If you follow the CIA operation, the American modus operandi, you know they know the locations of these people. They can drop do their thing in less than 2-3 days. They can. They have the capacity to do it, and maybe cooperate with the government of Nigeria. That would be beautiful. But people dreaming of America coming in, start shooting, it doesn't end the way people think. Thank you.
All right, having said that, what do you think about what the China government said about Donald Trump's coming into Nigeria for assistance, and they kind of tweeted that Donald Trump should take his government off from Nigeria's problem, knowing to well that they might not come in just to rescue the Nigerian in problem. Now they might come in a different dimension. So do you think what the Chinese government said was it right, or they are trying to kick against his order?
When it comes to China and American interests, I think any person who conversant with international diplomacy, we know that there are two parallel lines that hardly meet. In this case, it's all about interest. China being the big power in the east and America being the big power in the west. We are like the pawn, the chessboard. So China for now enjoys supremacy in terms of gaining interest from Nigeria. That's the truth. If you look at the statement from the Chinese Foreign Ministry, the statement of Putin, they say they are warning America to stay off their strategic partners. That's the term, strategic partners. There's no doubt that Nigeria has become a strategic partner to China. We are a very large market in West Africa and possibly the biggest, not possibly the biggest market in Africa. And you know that virtually everything we are getting outside the country, 80% is coming from China. That's one single part that people don't know. Many people anti-Trump and America's intervention in this crisis is pointing that America is coming to get our rare earth minerals, coming to take our resources. The question is, do you know that some people are already taking the resources? China, by the virtue of association with our government and by their own industry and everything, if you're into mining or whatever, you know that everything is being controlled by China and Chinese. So I think Nigeria is a particular country of interest to China. So I expect that. I'm not worried. But Nigerians should know that without agreeing that Trump should come, that if Trump comes in, China will only right. Nigeria is not going to cause a physical war between America and China. No, it's not going to happen. It's going to be a thing of China writing, condemning America doing their things. Because China is also doing their things in other places, in Taiwan, in Hong Kong. There are places that America is not comfortable with what China is doing. They will only, but these are big superpowers. They know how they interact. So I think China joining us is a morale booster for Nigerian government. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Henry.
Well, my own little contribution, just like my co-host has said, but all this is just for their own benefit, interest, or those things. Well, China are coming out to say whatever thing that said concerning this Donald Trump's Trump, that's they protect their own interest, considering how them and Nigeria are telling when it comes to economy wise, and we all know that Nigerians we are more using Chinese made products compared to the Americans, and we've seen the fight when it comes to between China and America when it comes to all this technology of the thing. So China coming into this discussion too is another good thing that we are believe that our government should look into in order to solve this problem without escalating the matter.
Okay, the last question. Since this is going a kind of a debate between the American government and the Chinese government, is it not right or high time for the African leaders coming together to look for a way out, stopping these radical killings in Nigeria and outside Nigeria? Because I don't think it's only in Nigeria this radical killing is going on. There are some other African countries that is not yet exposed to this extent. Mr. President, it's not high time our African leaders come out and speak for ourselves and how to stop this within ourselves.
Okay, it's the dream of every African that we get what I call true independence. But the reality is far from that. It's unfortunate. What you're calling for is already being platformed in African Union. There's African Union, there's ECOWAS, there are other smaller regional groups. But take ECOWAS, for example, where much of these killings in Nigeria, this fight in Nigeria is interconnected. We're already in division. You could remember that Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, and all that had been put out of ECOWAS. What does it mean is that we've lost some form of partnership with them. The reality is a reality. I don't like idealism. And in reality, it's not coming together with which technology. We need to wake up as a people, as Africans, to think of true African liberation. That's a subject I'm interested in. Some people call it Pan-Africanism. So I have some level of Pan-Africanism in my belief, but in reality is what you are seeing now. We are totally dependent on North, West, and now presently East, Russia and China.
So,
African leaders, we are supposed to at least protect our own territory before looking for an external body to come and help us. But it's unfortunate that everything that happens in Africa, we tend to look for other alternative because our own government has not been able to deal with those things decisively, and that is what is happening in Nigeria. If our government from the one that this genocide killing started, dealt with it now decisively the way they should have done it now, we are not going to be discussing today about Donald Trump's tweet concerning the continuous killing of people by Islamic, but because of the negligence that some of these African leaders have in their country. They don't care about what is happening. They're just there for just being there. grabbing power every time, want to grab power, without focusing on the little things that they will do to help the citizens of the country that they are ruling. So I believe that, going forward, our African leaders should try as much as possible, to avoid all these things that we are facing today in these African countries. Is by doing it internally without looking for external body from the Western world to intervene.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for all you've said. And I pray God hear our cry this hour, because even with Donald Trump and the Chinese, our African leaders and the rest of them, without fraud, I don't think anything will be normalized for us. And if it's not careful, we're not careful enough, it can lead to war. But we always believe in God. I leave other parts of this conversations for you, our viewers. Drop your comments at the comment section, your contributions, and what you think is the growth and the development for the Nigeria, Africa, and the world at large. Thank you so much. You can always like, follow, and share all our content. But please don't forget to click on the follow button. On Facebook, we are Touchlight News. On our X, we are at Touchlight News _. On Instagram, we are Touchlight News NG. On YouTube, we are Touchlight News NG. Our website is www.touchlightnews.com. Thank you, and do have a wonderful day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.